Hello, my loved ones, and welcome back to the Soulmate Journey Empath. I'm Jamie, the Soulmate Journey Empath, and I wanted to record this reading to get some activations and some light working messages for my Starseeds and Lightworkers. We are navigating some incredibly interesting energy here with the effect of the 9/9 portal that started yesterday, and this energy will be carrying through until the 10/10 portal next month. We're also experiencing a Mars retrograde. And for many of us that find ourselves called to a mission, this can translate to some challenge or some delays in whatever projects we're working on. And for some of us, that even includes our spiritually based businesses, right? So this energy kind of took me a little bit to get into the feel of myself, because when it came in, it kind of caught me by surprise. And usually I feel intuitively guided to prepare portal readings before the energy is upon us. But I was guided to kind of wait and feel it a little bit myself before I got into these messages, and was guided that it would be easier to explain and help the rest of you understand if I kind of put a little bit of my own stamp on it from some experience of what this energy feels like, okay? So one of the intuitive messages that my guides gave me was that specifically for Lightworkers and Starseeds that resonate with the indigo term or the indigo label, the indigo light ray, that this is incredibly challenging energy. And indigos are born between the years of 1979 and 1983. And while not all people born during this time frame may resonate or be characterized as an indigo, those that are tend to have a bowl or bucket natal birth chart, which means that almost all of these celestial bodies in your birth chart are contained in one half of the chart wheel. And that would be a bowl. If you have a bucket, then they're all in that half with one outlier. And a lot of times that is your Chiron. So if you have Chiron kind of opposite where absolutely everything else is, and you find that your natal astrology has this pattern where everything is in 5 or 6 consecutive houses, you are especially feeling this energy right now. And that was what my guides wanted to bring through. So I want to go ahead and get us some messages from the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle so that we can kind of see what really is being activated for us collectively that feel called to a mission. Whether you identify as a starseed, a Gaia worker, a light worker, or an earth angel, these are all mission-based soul experiences. And if you identify with any of those, this reading is for you. So let's go ahead and see what activations are happening with this energy. And I ask that we be brought in activations and messages of healing clarity and unconditional love of the highest frequency for the collective greatest good. All right, thank you. Let's see what we've got here. Wow, at the bottom of the deck, we have sensuality. This is number 36, 3 and 6, adding to 9. 9 is all about some kind of attainment, approaching the end of a cycle. It's more of the reflective portion of the cycle where we're looking back on where we've been before we get to a completion. A lot of sacral chakra activation here coming in with also the heart chakra. But for me, this is more the pink light frequency coming in, which is the highest order unconditional love. And I happen to really be feeling the pink today. So I absolutely love this. Another synchronicity for me as a starseed, as a light worker, and as a reader, that I'm feeling this energy right now. So what I'm getting here, though, is a tremendous activation to the sacral chakra. And let's get this activation's message. The frequency of sensuality reminds us that as spirits in human bodies, we are sensual beings experiencing joy and pleasure from the physical world through our senses. And my guides are telling me to direct you to the song We Are Spirits in the Material World by The Police. That those lyrics might resonate with you at this particular moment in time. The thing that's really difficult about feeling this energy, this is very Venusian energy, very much like a Taurus type energy coming in for us with sensuality. But being in the sign of Virgo, we're more about what's practical right now. So the biggest thing that I'm getting with this activation, and this is something that I've personally been feeling since the portal energy was upon us yesterday, is that we may have a very disciplined, very methodical, very Virgoan approach to what we're doing with our missions right now. And we may be getting a ton of obstacles, blockages, or delays. And really what we're being guided to do is dive into our senses, to allow the flow of energy, okay, to be a vessel for this energy. And that means when we run into an energetic obstacle, really what we're being invited and activated to do at this period in time is to engage in some nurturing, a little bit of self-care, healing and comforting our individual divine feminine energies here, rather than really pushing forward and being proactive, especially with the sacral chakra really being highlighted here. There is an element of receptivity and allowance that is associated with the divine feminine energetic polarity. So rather than fighting the current and pushing through on whatever goals, objectives, or plans that we may have at this time, we're being invited that if we run into an obstacle, to allow ourselves to be in the energy of allowance and see what energy is being brought into us there. See what small pleasures can be had for us. And I feel compelled to tell you, since this message came out, that today has been a very, very complicated day. I set out with a very clear plan. My Venus in Virgo is so activated by the Virgo season that we're in right now that I was like, all right, I have my day mapped out. It's going to look good. And I started my day with obstacle after obstacle. The obstacles continued to build. And the more that I tried to focus and redirect myself and get back to my personal work schedule, the more resistance that I got. So I was like, all right, I don't like this energy that I'm in. I'm going to go for a little cruise. I'm going to go get myself a coffee. And it was beautiful because when I went to go get the coffee, I also wanted a cake pop. Today was a day where chocolate, it was a small pleasure, but it was something that would give me a little bit of joy despite all the frustration I was experiencing. I indulged in my senses a little bit and they got me back to the present so that I wasn't frustrated. I didn't have this inner energy that was struggling to go in a direction. I kind of went with the flow of energy and allowed myself to have this very sensual experience, enjoying a coffee and a chocolate cake pop. So this energy of allowance, of taking a step back if something isn't moving forward, and allowing yourself to be in a receptive mode for the energy and going where it takes you is going to be very important. There's an element of flexibility that we are being called upon to exercise at this particular moment in time. So let's see, straight from the Oracle, what other activations are happening with the 9/9 portal and the Mars retrograde. And we had one come out here. And we have integrity. Beautiful activation here that is a combination between the throat and heart chakras. This is number 25, 2 and 5 adding to 7. This is all about persistence, patience, and perseverance, carrying the vibration of the number 7 here. And very much a message of getting into alignment with your intentions, with what you're trying to manifest, with your truth, with your communication, very much coming from a heart-centered place, being filtered through the heart chakra so that it is in alignment with you as an individual and the values that you hold. Let's see what this message brings. The energy of integrity supports our choice to be consistently truthful and honest while being guided by high moral standards. Okay. So another thing that may come in as a challenge, especially with the combination of this portal and Mars retrograde, is there may be a tendency, in order to meet the original objectives that you set for yourself, to somehow go about doing things differently. And what we are really being challenged to do in this energy is to examine if ways of approaching things that might be considered a shortcut, is that really in alignment with how you view the world, with your beliefs, with the way in which you are expressing your authentic self and trying to accomplish and get things done. So another challenge that is going to be presented to many of us during the energy of this portal and Mars retrograde is we may have to decline opportunities, projects, maybe even working with specific clients, because there is something about the energy that is not a vibrational match. So this could be challenging if you are working in a team during this season, because with Mars being in retrograde, people's drives, people's expectations, people's passions in the situation may not necessarily be in alignment. And one of the things that you're being asked to do is to practice discernment when it comes to this receptivity, and reminded not to entertain anything that doesn't feel like it's a vibrational match, that doesn't feel like it is a reflection of your authenticity, of your personal code, of your values and your beliefs. And also to temper your communications. When we have Mars in retrograde, there's a lot of natural resistance and frustration. So make sure that your communication during this time, that your throat chakra is balanced, open, aligned, and integrated with the other chakras, so that specifically your communication is filtered through your heart, and your heart is always guiding you in the right direction. Let's see if we have any other activations coming in. What other activations do we have? There's one. Any more? Two. All right. Whoa. And we have quite a few coming in, actually. Wow. So what I can't help but notice is that after all that shuffling on the bottom of the deck, We have the energy of surrender, heart chakra activation, as well as a little bit of throat here, a little bit of mirroring, that integrity. Surrender carries the vibration of the number 3, 39 adds to 12, reduces to 3 in numerology. In order to be in alignment, this season involves a little bit of an element of surrendering to the energy, allowing yourself to flow with the energy, to be a vessel for the energy, but not trying to consciously manipulate it or fight the energy. Surrender. The energy of surrender supports us to let go of illusionary control and yield to the flow of love and life. And I absolutely love that, because flow is definitely something that I am getting intuitively in terms of how we can navigate this energy with receptivity and flow here. So, wow. We have some very powerful messages here. We have reflection. This is a master number, number 33. Again, 3s and 33s, all about divine guidance and alignment, about co-creating with your divine team, and also bringing an element of divine into all of your interpersonal relationships. When we talk about the energy of 9-9, again, 9's a spiritual lesson is somehow being attained, and we are reflecting on the cycle that we are about to complete. The energy of reflection supports growth through the insights we get from the contemplations of self and others. So there may be some triggering that's going on also during this season. And whatever is being triggered is a place where the divine is showing you that you can work to do some additional healing. This may also be a very significant energy for you to decide what things may no longer be in alignment with you and lovingly release them so that you can bring in things that are a better vibrational match. And then we have transformation. Absolutely beautiful. This coming in, activating the crown and third eye chakras. This carries the vibration of the number 6, being message number 42, 4 and 2, adding to 6. This is about harmony in interpersonal relationships in particular. The energy of transformation supports our ability to gracefully flow through times of transition, allowing the old to make room for the new. I don't believe in coincidences. So, these repeated messages coming through, both intuitive channel messages coming from me and being reflected in these oracle messages, if they're coming through more than once, that is a synchronicity. That is the divine saying yes, yes, yes. All right. So ultimately, as we are coming through, we're reflecting on the cycles that we've individually been working on in our lives. We're gleaning so much knowledge so that final step is a beautiful, thorough, and empowered completion, so that we are ready to transform the old chapter and allow it to turn into something new here. So a significant month of transformation happening. And it is really what I'm getting is that this is a method by which we can crystallize the lessons that we have been working on. When we come into challenges at the 11th hour, they really test what we've learned in the situation and allow us the opportunity to apply some of what we've learned before we can say that we have honestly mastered whatever lesson that we've been working on individually with our own consciousness, our own emotional body, and our own spiritual growth. All right. So the next messages that I would like to get for us come from the Work Your Light Oracle. And as I shuffle these, I just want to take a moment to invite you, if you have not subscribed yet, to please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell if you'd like to get the most current updates on my uploaded content. If you would like to follow me on my social media platforms, I'm on Facebook and Instagram, as well as having my YouTube channel. So please feel free to check out those links in the description box below. If you'd like to schedule a personal reading, the link to my Etsy storefront is also located in the description box below. And if you feel like donating to the channel, there are also links to PayPal, CashApp, and an Amazon wish list with a lot of crystals and oracle and tarot cards if you would like to contribute to the channel. So let's shuffle 2 more times. Messages of the highest frequency for our collective greatest good. And I apologize about my cat running around with the zoomies in the background. But if you're a subscriber to my channel, you know that I have 4 pets, and they are an ever-present part of Soulmate Journey Empath. Wow. At the bottom of the deck for overall energy, we have Answer the Call. What is your soul calling you to do? What does it want? When we're in this Mars retrograde energy, we are allowed a revision to whatever plan, whatever strategy that we were following before we hit this delay in energy, right? We're allowed to look back over this cycle, to reflect on it, and glean new insights, to revise our course, to make a course correction if necessary. But if a course correction isn't necessary, this is a beautiful confirmation that you have come into alignment and you are really on your path. It's difficult for us when we get into a period where we're gaining a lot of momentum to get in the energy of allowance, to be more in our divine feminine energy. It can be kind of a challenging shift, but all of the support is there for us with both the 9/9 portal and the Mars retrograde to be able to reflect a little bit, to be in that Virgoan hermit energy. And really, the hermit, I love the symbolism and the imagery of the hermit card, because the hermit is following their highest self on this journey inward. And that's very much a representation of the vibration of the number 9. It's an individual search. It's a quest inward, if you will. So an invitation to revisit that while we are in this energy right now. So there's one message. Let's see what else we have. Let's see what else we have for my Starseeds, Gaia workers, Lightworkers. Any more messages? I get a feeling one up. Yep, there was one more. I love that. So another invitation that we have with the energy on the bottom of the deck is to get grounded, okay? Get grounded. And it says empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. So implementing whatever grounding and centering techniques and strategies that you have is going to be very, very helpful in navigating this energy, because we may set off, as I had discussed at the beginning, and think that we have a clear picture of the path ahead and where we're going. And this portal energy with the Mars retrograde is like, are you sure? I mean, you're in the general vicinity, but maybe take a little detour over here in order to really get in touch with our soul, with our consciousness, with our inner compass. we need to be grounded, and we need to have space and create that space for ourselves to be in that reflective mode. Okay, so that's beautiful energy coming in at the bottom of the deck for us. I love this. We have trust the niggle. What's that niggling feeling trying to tell you? If you're getting a feeling that something just isn't quite right, something doesn't quite feel like it's lining up the way that you want it to, you are being directed to go to that niggling feeling and explore it some more, but from this more receptive energy, so that you're allowing yourself to be a vessel for divine guidance and inspiration. So if there is something that is just kind of pulling at you, this is an invitation for you to go ahead and explore that, because we are in that reflective energy right now. And, whatever your strategy has been, however you've been moving through this cycle from beginning to the energy of the number 9, we are free to reevaluate, to alter that course, and to incorporate additional things that we've been learning upon the journey that may kind of shift the course, and we may complete things in a different way than we started them. And that's okay. What we have now is the time and space to evaluate what we're doing. And so if there's anything that has been kind of nagging at you, or kind of pulling at you, or intuitive hits that you've been getting, you have the time and space to entertain them right now. There isn't that push to just keep going and finish the cycle, right? Everything happens in divine timing. So we do have awakening, and I have been getting some very weird activations related to this portal energy. I'm experiencing them in a much different way than I have experienced the other portal activations this year. And this may be true for many of you as well. Okay, so energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration, absolutely, absolutely. Portals are assistive energy. And if we have been doing the work in aligning ourselves, recognize that any course correction is to support and assist your individual learning and spiritual growth on this journey. And all of these portals, for all of us, whether we're ready for them or not, definitely include activations and upgrades. All right. So for many of us, we may find ourselves a little sluggish or tired. I know that's an energy that I have been feeling the past couple of days, and I usually get very energized by a portal. This is a reminder that, ascension is not an isolated event. It's an ongoing process as long as we're engaging and doing the work. And so if you're getting a bout of ascension symptoms like fatigue or lethargy, trust the niggle. It reminds me, there's an old Christian worship song that says, you gotta move when the spirit says move, and then you gotta pray when the spirit says pray. And I'm hearing, you gotta sleep when the spirit says sleep. And so, if you're tired or you need to take a time out from whatever schedule that you've set for yourself, it's really important to listen to your body, especially in this year, 2020, where there are a lot of external factors that can influence our health. Okay. All of us globally have been dealing with the coronavirus. There are other types of events where I'm at in the United States. There's a lot of air pollution because we have a significant amount of wildfires in the western part of the US, but our prevalent weather is carrying that heavily polluted ozone with the particulates from smoke and fire to the rest of the United States as the weather patterns are shifting. So sleep, rest, whatever you need to do to recharge your batteries, to get grounded in center. Allow yourself to do these things, and, follow the intuitive hits that you're getting from not only your spiritual self and your mental self, but from your physical body as well. I love this, Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. And, as we all have this mission to try to ascend the collective to a higher state of consciousness, to get our collective more in touch with the Earth Mother, with our environment, with other species. This is like this daunting task, and we feel like, oh gosh, we've got to hurry up, we've got to go. And this, for me, relative to these other messages, is just a reminder that this is a process, just like ascension is a process. And sometimes we are more active in a process, sometimes we are more passive. And I think that this is a message to give yourself grace, time, and space to entertain this receptive mode, to entertain energy rather than projecting energy. And for each of us, finding that individual balance in how we're able to do it. This is also an invitation to find bliss in those sensual experiences, in those little things, like having some chocolate on a cruddy day, taking a nap, doing whatever small things, sensual things, 3D things that can help ground you, help comfort you, and help support you in this very reflective energy. All right. Next, we have Priestess. And this is a beautiful, beautiful energy. How are you being called to step up and lead? Now is not the time to go ahead and rush forward, is what my guides are telling me. It's a time to think about how you can lead, to reflect on how you can lead and how you have already been leading in what you do. All right. Especially for those of you that resonate with the identity of being a light worker. I definitely identify as being a light worker. Part of a light working mission is to just be your authentic self and share that with the world and inspire people and lead by example. Okay. This is a time for us to craft our approach, to reflect on the approach that we have been using thus far and make any necessary adjustments. And a lot of great inspiration is going to be coming in with us, because this is also in that grounded place, getting a lot of downloads, a lot of information through the third eye chakra, and using our intuition to really guide us toward our next steps, or toward the plans that we are crafting in this portal and Mars retrograde energy. And we have the warrior woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? If there is something that you have always wanted to do, and maybe you have crafted your approach, you've started manifesting the path that you want to go down in your life. Maybe there's something that you started because you thought was manageable, but there are other aspects that you thought maybe were off limits. Whatever you thought was off limits, it's okay to go back and reevaluate it now, because you have made so many steps through this cycle that your perspective has shifted to a degree. And when our perspective shifts, we allow ourselves to be receptive and open up to all kinds of new ideas and possibilities. So to close out, I would love to get us a message from the Oracle of the Unicorns, because They are just beautiful cards. They have inspirational messages, and it is a time for us to really connect with our highest selves and with the divine, so that we can fine-tune our courses, our missions, and our strategies for contributing to creating a sense of heaven here on earth. So let's see what messages we have to close out. What messages do we have for my mission-based collective? At the bottom, I love this: trust. Trust. Have faith and believe you will fly. So there is this invitation to allow energy, to be a vessel, to be receptive for this universal energy, for this cosmic energy, for these light codes, for these upgrades, for us to be able to download information and reflect and process what we've already experienced and accumulated, so that we can make whatever course corrections are necessary, take time to stop and appreciate what we've already accomplished, and also to be able to hold a clear vision of where we are going, when energetically we can pick up this momentum and be more in our individual divine masculine energies. All right. So our final message is gentleness. Gentleness. Be kind to yourself and others. Honor your gentleness. Speak words of love. That is all that I have for you today. I hope that these messages bring you healing, clarity, empowerment, and love. And as always, my dears, I am sending you so much healing, love, and light. Bye-bye.